Greetings, dear subscribers and casual listeners of my channel. Minerva McGonagall is a favorite professor among most students. She didn't just appear out of nowhere in the Harry Potter story. The head of Gryffindor House has her own, often quite tragic, backstory. She grew up in Scotland, where she faced several challenges before attending Hogwarts. J.K. Rowling has detailed McGonagall's entire life, from infancy to the years following the Battle of Hogwarts. Although the series of books doesn't delve deeply into her past, Rowling has shared some facts that shed light on how one of the most intriguing adult characters in the book came to be. So, here are 15 facts you might not know about Minerva McGonagall. Fact number 1. She is a registered animagus. We've all seen McGonagall in her animagus form, but movie viewers and even some book readers might not know that she is one of 7 animagi registered with the Ministry of Magic in the 20th century. McGonagall's inclination towards Transfiguration led her to desire becoming an animagus, and she sought Dumbledore's help in her final year at school to achieve this. Wizards cannot choose the animal they will become. It is determined by their values and inner qualities. McGonagall became a wise, striped cat. Fact number 2. She played Quidditch for Gryffindor. During her school years, McGonagall became a member of the Quidditch team, though her position on the team is unknown. In her final year, Minerva was knocked off her broom due to a blatant foul by a Slytherin player and left the field with a concussion. It was that autumn when she developed a dream, to see Gryffindor crush Slytherin in a Quidditch match. As we know, she had several arguments about this with Snape, the head of Slytherin House. Interestingly, a few years later, her brother Malcolm also joined the Gryffindor team, playing alongside James Potter, who, contrary to popular belief, was a chaser on the team, not a seeker like his son. Fact number 3. Her sorting took more than 5 minutes. The time the sorting hat took to sort Harry, Hermione and Neville was lengthy, but it didn't reach the 5-minute mark, which is significant in Hogwarts history. In the past century, there were only 2 known wizards whose sorting took more than 5 minutes. McGonagall was the first. The sorting hat wavered between Gryffindor and Ravenclaw for almost 6 minutes. The hat considers the student's choice, so despite her endless wisdom and intelligence, McGonagall was sorted into Gryffindor. Peter Pettigrew is the second known wizard who was almost placed in Slytherin. The hat ultimately chose Gryffindor, and despite Pettigrew's betrayal of the Marauders, the hat defended its decision even before Pettigrew's final act of self-sacrifice. Fact number 4. She is named after a Greek goddess. Behind every name in Harry Potter, there's a bit of backstory, and Minerva McGonagall is no exception. Minerva is the Roman name for Athena, the Greek goddess who championed courage, justice, and strategy. These traits are not only present in McGonagall, but are also characteristics of Hogwarts founder Godric Gryffindor, whose house she ultimately leads, proving she was correctly sorted. Moreover, Minerva was a wise goddess of schools and education. Meanwhile, McGonagall derives from the Celtic name Conagall, which translates to son of the bravest. However, this is not how she got her surname. McGonagall comes from the Scottish poet William Topaz McGonagall, who is considered one of the worst writers in British history. But according to J.K. Rowling, this has nothing to do with her personality. Rowling simply liked the name, and it reflected the character's Scottish heritage. Fact number 5. She is a half-blood Minerva. McGonagall was born to Muggle minister Robert McGonagall and Isabel Ross, a talented witch who refused to marry Robert in defense of the International Statute of Secrecy. Named after her witch grandmother, Minerva showed signs of magic from birth, even displaying some level of control over her abilities, which became a disaster for Isabel, who had never told Robert about her magical powers. Eventually, she revealed the truth to her husband, who, instead of leaving her, agreed to the terms of the Statute of Secrecy. The couple later had 2 more sons, Malcolm and Robert Jr., and Isabel, with Minerva's help, concealed the accidents their magic might have caused. Fact number 6. She is the first wizard to appear in the book. On the first pages of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, we are introduced to the first wizard, Minerva McGonagall. She appears even before the reader realizes that Harry's world is full of magic. In the scene on Privet Drive, when Vernon Dursley notices a strange cat closely studying a map, the intrigue begins to build. This cat is not just an animal, but a transfigured witch. McGonagall immediately captures attention. We see her through the eyes of the Dursleys, sensing the unusual and mysterious nature of her presence. The cat was sitting motionless, its gaze fixed on this house. Vernon Dursley abruptly turned away and walked on, but as he rounded the corner, he noticed that the cat was still standing there. These lines fill the reader with a sense of mystery. When Dumbledore joins McGonagall, the first dialogue between the wizards reveals her character. She is not just a strict teacher. She is a person with deep dedication and a strong sense of responsibility. At that moment, McGonagall expresses doubts about leaving baby Harry with the Dursleys. Her words, "Are you sure these people are the best for Harry?" show her care and empathy. From the first pages, it is evident that she is not afraid to express her opinion, even when speaking with the greatest wizard of all time. McGonagall immediately presents herself as a confident and strong personality. The reader understands that they are not just dealing with a teacher, but with an influential figure playing a significant role in Harry's fate. Her strict but fair nature is immediately apparent when she condemns the Dursleys. McGonagall refers to them as the worst sort of muggles imaginable, emphasizing her intolerance of injustice, especially toward those who cannot defend themselves. Fact number 7. She attended school with Professor Sprout. Minerva McGonagall and Pomona Sprout are not just colleagues. They have been friends since their youth. Their friendship began at Hogwarts when McGonagall was in her 6th year and Sprout had just started. This bond, formed during their school years, lasted throughout their lives. Remember the moment in Order of the Phoenix when Umbridge delivers a boring speech? McGonagall and Sprout exchange glances, and in that look is their entire history. They understand each other without words, and it's clear their friendship is strong. After school, they both returned to Hogwarts, but this time as teachers. McGonagall chose Transfiguration, while Sprout chose herbology. They taught different subjects but remained close. As heads of houses, McGonagall for Gryffindor and Sprout for Hufflepuff, they often worked together, supporting each other. Their bond is particularly evident in times of crisis. When Umbridge takes over Hogwarts, McGonagall and Sprout act together. In the Battle of Hogwarts, they are a true team. This moment shows just how strong their alliance is. Sprout, though she appears soft, proves to be a fearless ally. When McGonagall fights Snape, Sprout doesn't hesitate to rush to her aid. Their friendship is evident in these moments when they understand without words that they need each other's support. In the books, their connection is hinted at in subtle ways. When McGonagall was injured by the Ministry's auras, Sprout was one of the first to visit her in the hospital. This scene isn't detailed, but it's clear that Sprout deeply cares for her friend. Fact number 8. She won awards in Transfiguration. Minerva McGonagall always stood out among Hogwarts students. Her talent in Transfiguration was evident from her first year. Each lesson was an opportunity for her to shine, and she never disappointed. Albus Dumbledore, her mentor, immediately noticed her extraordinary gift. He often said that Minerva had a natural power, rare even among wizards. Her skill grew with each passing year. McGonagall easily mastered the most complex spells, which others found impossible. In her 6th year, she became an animagus, able to transform into a cat with distinctive markings around her eyes, resembling her glasses. This was not just a demonstration of power, but a symbol of her complete mastery of transfiguration. Dumbledore was thrilled. He saw in Minerva a reflection of his talent, and perhaps even something more. He encouraged her, offering challenging tasks to develop her abilities. Minerva never disappointed him. Her determination to become the best was unshakable. When she took her OWLs and NEWTs, her results were impressive. Minerva received top marks, setting new standards. Her achievements did not go unnoticed. Transfiguration. Today awarded her a prize as the most promising newcomer. This made her famous in certain wizarding circles. Fact number 9. She was engaged to a Muggle. In her youth, Minerva McGonagall experienced a love story that forever changed her life. After graduating from Hogwarts, she returned to her native Scotland and met Dougal McGregor, the son of a local farmer. Dougal was a Muggle, but that didn't stop their feelings from blossoming. They spent a magical summer together, and Dougal, enchanted by Minerva, proposed to her. Minerva agreed, and it was a moment of boundless happiness. But the next morning, Minerva was overcome with doubts. Her mother, also a witch, had spent her life hiding her magic from her Muggle husband. Minerva realized that if she married Dougal, she would have to live a double life. She couldn't give up magic and her career for love, no matter how strong it was. With a heavy heart, she broke off the engagement. Minerva explained to Dougal that she couldn't marry him, knowing she was breaking his heart. After that, she left Scotland and moved to London, leaving behind love and dreams. This breakup deeply affected Minerva. She became more reserved and focused on her career. The realization that her place was in the magical world strengthened her resolve. Minerva understood that she couldn't be happy if she had to hide her true self. Dougal's death during the First Wizarding War dealt her another blow. He died in an anti-Muggle attack by Death Eaters. This loss only strengthened her determination to fight the dark forces. Her personal pain turned into a force directed at protecting the magical world. Fact number 10. Her first job was at the Ministry of Magic. After breaking up with Dougal, Minerva McGonagall threw herself into her work. Her first serious position was at the Ministry of Magic, in the Department of Magical Law Enforcement. Young and ambitious, she quickly proved herself as a smart and uncompromising employee. Minerva was responsible for ensuring that magical laws were followed and often faced dangerous situations. Her decisiveness and ability to make instant decisions saved the day more than once. But she began to grow disillusioned with her work at the ministry. Politics and bureaucracy hindered the real fight against dark forces. McGonagall felt that her true calling was elsewhere. She was drawn to teaching, to passing on knowledge to the next generation of wizards. The ministry, despite all its resources, couldn't fully realize her potential. When Albus Dumbledore offered her a teaching position in Transfiguration at Hogwarts, she didn't hesitate. Dumbledore saw her as a leader and mentor, capable of inspiring young people. Minerva accepted the offer and left the ministry, knowing that her place was at the school, among the students. But even at Hogwarts, McGonagall maintained ties with the ministry. She continued to collaborate with the Aurors, helping in the fight against Voldemort. Her animagus abilities allowed her to spy on Death Eaters unnoticed, passing on important information. Her time at the ministry taught her to act decisively and without hesitation. McGonagall understood that sometimes you have to break the rules to defeat evil. These lessons would serve her well in the future when she faced new challenges at Hogwarts. Fact number 11. She was attacked by ministry Aurors. During Dolores Umbridge's reign at Hogwarts, tensions were at an all-time high. Umbridge, appointed by the ministry, sought to suppress any resistance, She acted ruthlessly, stopping at nothing. McGonagall, always a champion of justice, found herself in her way. The climax came when Umbridge ordered Aurors to attack Hagrid. Minerva, upon learning of this, rushed to help. She couldn't allow such lawlessness, but as soon as she managed to draw her wand, 4 spells hit her simultaneously. McGonagall, one of the most powerful witches of her time, was knocked off her feet. This was a shock to everyone who knew her. For the first time, Minerva appeared so vulnerable. She was taken to St. Mungo's Hospital. The physical wounds healed, but the emotional ones remained. The attack shook her faith in the justice and laws she had defended all her life. The Aurors, who were supposed to be guardians of order, had betrayed her on the orders of a power-hungry woman. This moment deeply wounded her trust in the Ministry. McGonagall's relationship with the Ministry changed dramatically after this incident. She could no longer see them as protectors of law and order. For her, the Ministry became a symbol of corrupt power. McGonagall realized that true justice often lies outside official structures. Returning to Hogwarts was difficult. She recovered physically, but the emotional scars remained. However, the attack only strengthened her resolve. Minerva was no longer afraid to stand up to injustice, even if it meant going to war with the authorities. Fact number 12. She married her former boss. Minerva McGonagall found love in an unexpected place, in the form of Elphinstone Urquhart, her former boss at the Ministry of Magic. Elphinstone had been charmed by her from the first days of work, but Minerva, still grieving the loss of her first love, had declined his proposal. But as time passed and after the death of Dougal MacGregor, her heart began to soften. Elphinstone didn't give up. He continued to court Minerva, never losing hope. Every visit to Scotland ended with a new proposal of marriage. And finally, after many years of persistence, Minerva agreed. This decision brought her a joy she no longer expected to feel. Their marriage was quiet, but filled with happiness. Elphinstone bought a cosy cottage in Hogsmeade, where they spent 3 years in peace and harmony. Minerva enjoyed the tranquility of family life, allowing herself to relax from the endless worries and anxieties for the first time. But their happiness was short-lived. Elphinstone tragically died from the bite of a venomous tentacula. Minerva was left a widow, once again plunged into solitude. This loss was devastating, but she found the strength to carry on. Minerva returned to Hogwarts, leaving behind the cottage that had become too painful a reminder of lost happiness. Fact number 13. She fought against Voldemort. Minerva McGonagall played a key role in the Battle of Hogwarts. When Voldemort approached the castle walls, she immediately took command. Animating statues and suits of armor, McGonagall organized the defense with cold determination. Her steadfastness inspired everyone who fought alongside her. In the heat of battle, she fought on the front lines. Her magic was powerful and precise, intimidating even the most experienced Death Eaters. When Voldemort breached the castle, Minerva faced him without fear. She knew she was protecting not just the school, but the future of the entire wizarding world. The duel with Voldemort became the climax of the battle. Along with Kingsley Shacklebolt and Horace Slughorn, she engaged in combat with the Dark Lord. This was a moment when everything hung in the balance. Voldemort knew that McGonagall was a serious threat. She showed no fear, even when their powers clashed with destructive force. Spells flew with such intensity that the air crackled with energy. Minerva stood firm, demonstrating why she was considered one of the greatest witches of her time. But Voldemort was ruthless. In the end, the 3 wizards were overwhelmed by his fury. When Harry Potter appeared in the Great Hall, McGonagall stood among those who couldn't believe he had died. But as soon as it became clear that Harry was alive, she rose again to defend him. McGonagall knew that the final battle was near, and that the fate of Hogwarts would be decided in the next few minutes. Fact number 14. She was awarded the Order of Merlin First Class. After the victory over Voldemort, Minerva McGonagall was awarded the Order of Merlin First Class, the highest honor in the wizarding world. This recognition was for her enormous contribution to the Battle of Hogwarts and her dedication to the magical community. For Minerva, this was not just an award, but a symbol of her determination and bravery in the darkest of times. The Order of Merlin, First Class, is a sign of the highest honor, given only to those who have changed the course of history. For McGonagall, it was a confirmation of her strength and leadership. In the Battle of Hogwarts, she proved herself as a fearless defender. She organized the defense, rallied the castle's defenders, and did not retreat until the very last moment. Her will and courage inspired everyone around her. Minerva was always on the front lines when others might hesitate. Her many years of work at Hogwarts, nurturing generations of wizards and imparting wisdom and values to them, made her a true pillar of the magical world. The Order of Merlin became a symbol of recognition for her achievements, but she did not seek glory. For her, it was more important to see her students become strong and worthy wizards. Fact number 15. She was appointed headmistress of Hogwarts after the battle. After the victory over Voldemort, Minerva McGonagall was appointed headmistress of Hogwarts. This was a logical decision. She had always been the heart of the school, and her leadership during the battle proved that she could manage not only a classroom, but the entire castle. Under her guidance, Hogwarts entered a new era of rebirth. McGonagall immediately set about restoring the school. Hogwarts had been damaged not only physically, but also morally. Minerva assembled a team of loyal teachers to restore the school to its former glory. For her, this was more than just repairing walls. It was about reviving the spirit of Hogwarts, shaken by the war. One of her first decisions was to invite Neville Longbottom to become the herbology professor. Neville, who had shown incredible bravery in the battle, was the perfect choice. Minerva saw in him not only a hero, but also a future mentor capable of inspiring the next generation of students. Neville happily accepted the offer. For him, it was not just a job, but an opportunity to continue the work he had fought for. Under McGonagall's leadership, he quickly became one of the most beloved teachers. Minerva believed in Neville, seeing in him the qualities of a true teacher: kindness, patience, and passion for his craft. Thank you for watching until the end. I hope this means you found it interesting, and if so, don't forget to like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel.